Hello guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another episode of Vlogmas. I have had quite a not busy day work-wise, but a little bit more of like an admin day. So I had a couple of appointments this morning, just sort of like health appointments, like I had a physio appointment, things like that that really were not interesting for the vlog. So it's been one of those days today where I thought I could either force a vlog together and vlog really boring stuff, or just not and just vlog actually the kind of most interesting part of my day today. So I am getting ready. I've got like a Christmassy event that I'm going to. So I thought I'd do with you a full get ready with me. But aside from that, I'm going to be answering some of your questions. So I actually asked over on Instagram for you to send in your questions that you want me to answer. So I thought I would do that whilst we get ready. I'm going to do a real full glam Christmas makeup look because I've not actually done one of those yet, and I'm really just quite excited to put some makeup on, have a play. And yeah, I'm not in any rush. I've got loads of time. So yeah, I thought I'd sit down and film this video with you today as today's Vlogmas video. So I'm just going to tie my hair up and away from my face. There we go, just like that. And then starting off with a little bit of TLC, I am going to pop on some of my favourite under eye patches. These are the 1 Skin Rose Gold Illuminating Eye Masks. I love these. I also love the face mask versions of these, but I'm just going to pop the eye ones on today just to give myself a little refresher. Hello, good morning. I'm not sure why I'm saying good morning when it's definitely not morning, but Desmond! Hello! What do you want, Tootie? What do you want? What do you want? Hello, booby. Anyway, Alex, stop getting distracted by the dogs, as always. Oh, there we go. We're ready. I'm also just going to pop on some moisturiser just to let that sink in whilst I wear these for, I usually leave these on for about, well, as long as I want to really. I'm going to leave these on for about 10 minutes today. I'm going to pop on some of the Ole Henriksen Strength Trainer Peptide Boost Moisturiser. I blinking love this stuff. Just pop it on around my eye patches. Bit of added moisture. There we go. Okay, whilst that's sinking in and doing its thing, let's have a look and get into some of the questions. Right, drink, get that water in. Okay, first question. There were lots of kind of like similar questions, so I'm going to start off with a question that came up quite a lot, and that is how I basically got into content creating. So, actually, I'm going to give these 5 more minutes. I'll answer this while these are just setting. So, content creation for me was a bit of a byproduct of something else that I was trying to achieve at the time. So, basically, when I finished uni, I obviously needed to get a job. And I think a lot of people sort of go into the real world, maybe a bit naively, thinking, right, I've got the degree, I'm going to walk into the job, the high-paying job that I like because I've ticked all the boxes, so next comes the job. And it's never that straightforward, is it? Literally could not get a job. I ended up working in a doctor's surgery. It was a private doctor's. I was working on the reception. Anyway, I actually really loved it. I met some amazing people doing that. Loved it, but I was always kind of interested in doing something else, maybe on the side. And I quickly discovered that as soon as I went into the kind of real world, full-time work, having a boss, I quickly realised that having a boss wasn't for me. I just didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy. And to be fair, I did have a string of bad bosses, like bad. The stories I could tell, guys, honestly. Oh, that would be a whole other video in itself. Really bad. People that should not be in charge of other people. Sorry, I'm going off on a tangent. I genuinely think you should have to pass some sort of test before you are allowed to be in charge of other people at work. There should be something that you should have to do, but anyway, that is a whole other story. But to be honest, I thank them because that gave me the kick up the bum to think, I don't want to have a boss for the rest of my life. I didn't know what it was at the time. I knew that whatever I wanted to do in life, I wanted it to be off my own back. Anyway, while I was in this job, I really wanted to make some extra money. And I took on a second job working in a bar, so I would literally work Monday to Saturday because the job that I was working at in the doctors was 6 days a week. And on top of that, I'd work a Friday and a Saturday night in a bar. It was a lot, but yeah, that's just what needed to be done. Because after uni, I didn't have the option of moving home, so it was just a case of, right, I have to make this work. So that was my goal. At the time, I was really into makeup, so and actually it was a couple of my friends and Andy who started saying to me, oh, you should put your makeup looks on Instagram. And so I did, but I wasn't doing it at the time to make content. I was actually doing it because I was thinking, oh, maybe I could be a makeup artist on the side and do people's makeup. So this will be like my portfolio. People could find me on Instagram and I'll do their makeup. And that is literally why I started creating makeup content. I didn't really think it was going to get picked up by anyone. My makeup page started to grow. Not hugely, but it started to grow. I actually got, one of my claims to fame at that time was I actually got reposted on Twitter by Kris Jenner because I used the like Kim Kardashian and like Mario palette or something like that. It's something to do with Kim Kardashian, and she posted my picture on her Twitter. I'm gonna try and look for this picture and pop it here if I find it. The makeup slowly turned to fashion. I kind of realised that actually, whilst all this was going on, in real life, offline, I was actually really, really interested in fashion. And just, I always loved putting outfits together, and if I went on a night out or something like that, I feel like, this makes me sound like I'm like a pick-me girl. I promise I'm not. But when I went on a night out, I'd always try and wear something that, I don't know, that was a bit different. I'd probably say I was always the one wearing something that was a bit different, if that makes sense, that would kind of be a bit stand out. I remember I went through my Trilby hat phase. That was really embarrassing. I used to go out wearing a hat on a night out. But anyway, I started then posting fashion looks to my once was makeup page, and it just started to grow from there. So yeah, sooner or later I was working full time, but on the side, literally on a weekend, I'd go and shoot fashion content. So me and Andy would get in the car, I would take 5 or 6 outfits, shoot them all in one day on a Saturday or Sunday, and then I'd have them to post throughout the week. So yeah, I was doing that alongside my job for, God, 3 years? Yeah, about 3 years. And then it got to the point where I started getting approached for work from brands and offered payment and things like that, and it got to the point where I kind of thought maybe I should just give this a go full time. I didn't quit my full-time job. By this point I was no longer working in the doctors. I was working in sales and marketing. Yeah, I got to a crossroads with it whereby I had to sort of turn down things in the influencer life, like going to events, opportunities, and I had to start saying no to things because obviously I was at work. And guys, honestly, I became a really bad employee. There's no two ways about it. Because I'd try and book holiday days off to go to events, I'd try and throw sickies to go and do stuff, and it just got to that point where I couldn't do both, like to its full potential. So I either needed to knock the content creation on the head or knock the full-time job on the head. Obviously, we know what I decided to do. Me and Andy sort of had a conversation at the time, and we kind of had a bit of an agreement, and Andy said, you know, when what you do in content creation matches what you earn in your full-time job for 3 months straight, and you know that, you know, you can basically afford all the outgoings, the mortgage, things like that, then yeah, then quit your job. So that's exactly what I did, and then here I am doing it full-time, and yeah, I wouldn't look back now. I'm so glad that things worked out the way they did. So that is the very long story. of how I got into content creation. Okay, I'm going to take these off. Ta-da! Now I'm going to brush my eyebrows with the Refi Brow Sculpt. And then whilst I do that and pop my sort of base on, by the way, everything that I'm using, if I don't mention it out loud, I will link everything in the description box below. What are the downsides to being an influencer? Well, I think, I mean, probably a pretty obvious one is that if you want to do this and you're serious about it and you can kind of grow your following, with a growth in following obviously comes, you know, your content reaching, hundreds of thousands, millions of people. Not all of those people are going to like you, not all those people are going to get you, and unfortunately the influencer industry, just in general, a lot of people seem to just love to hate it, which I don't like. I think one of the cons for me is maybe all influencers getting tarred with the same brush, getting put into the same box, and rather than seen as individuals, because I see all the time, just influencers in general getting a bashing online, and it's just, that can be a little bit annoying, and that's what makes me sometimes reluctant when I meet someone to tell them what I do for a job, because I think there's instant judgment, and I always think of it as, it's like you can have good and bad examples of, in every single job industry. Let's look at teachers. There are some absolutely incredible teachers that honestly just deserve the world. And then there are some really bad teachers that emotionally, mentally scar their children. You've got some teachers that end up running off with pupils and, doing dodgy things, but you wouldn't turn around and say, oh, all teachers are the same. And that's kind of how it feels sometimes for being an influencer, that if one influencer or a couple of influencers, or, there's a controversy in the industry, you kind of just get dragged with it. I don't know. I think one of the hardest things I find is just, but I've got a lot better at it now, is probably just having to take on the load of everyone else's opinions about everything in your life. And it's a catch-22 of, the more you show, the more kind of opinions you're going to get. And obviously they're not always nice ones, and I realise that. Not everybody's going to like you, but yeah. I just wish people could be maybe just more considerate before saying things, writing things, and maybe just consider that, you'll always hear, oh well, you're online, you chose to be criticised, or, well, no, I didn't choose that. I actually chose the path of making videos, creating content, talking about fashion. That's what I chose. And I always think you chose to watch and leave a hateful comment or something horrible. So yeah, I just kind of wish it was a bit nicer in that respect, and yeah, people just weren't out to try and, God, it's almost like people think that because you're an influencer, maybe you need bringing down a peg or two, and I kind of just wish people would just be open to the fact that, no, honestly, everyone in this job is just human, and, just trying to also get by in life with as little scrapes and scars as possible. Would you like to live in London? Short and sweet answer, guys, no. No, I like visiting London. I'm there obviously for work, and it's nice to go for the day or the weekend, but no, I wouldn't want to live there personally. It's too busy, it's too expensive, and yeah, it's just not a bit of me. It doesn't really fit my kind of lifestyle that I like, and in short, no, I wouldn't want to live in London. is your current home your forever home? Oh, good question. These are always hard to answer, aren't they? Because I think you never know, do you? But I probably would say no, it's probably not going to be our forever home. And that doesn't mean that I'm moving tomorrow before anyone then jumps to a conclusion. No, I'm not going to move tomorrow, but no, it's not my forever home. It's not the home. This house I love. And if I could pick up this house and move it, perfect, amazing. I think it's more so the place where we live isn't our forever place. We eventually we will move slightly further down south. Not sure exactly where, but yeah, we will end up eventually moving down south. We've got lots of friends down south, and just little things like if we ever were to start a family, if we were to stay up here, I would have virtually no support network around me. I just wouldn't have anyone here to help, and you know, the prospect of eventually having a baby or starting a family, to me, is terrifying. I have never been, I don't know why I'm answering this question as well, but I've never been sort of overly maternal. But yeah, we've always said we wouldn't want to probably do that stage of our life up here. But that's not saying that that's not a reflection on this house though, because like I said, I really, really do love this house. I mean, if we're talking absolute dream houses, my dream would be to own a house with my own bit of land, some stables, whereby I could keep Flicker, my horse, for those of you that don't know, at home. Yeah, that would be the ultimate dream. But yeah, who knows? Who knows what the future holds, guys? And then speaking of Flicker, there was actually there was loads of questions about Flicker. I've tried to kind of group them together. So lots of people asking, how long have you had Flicker? Is she your first horse? Do you own Flicker? Do you live close by to ride every day? Loads of these kind of questions. To start that, yes, I do own Flicker. She is mine. I have owned her. She came to me in October last year, so October 2022. So I've had her well over a year now, so had her about 15 months to be precise. So yeah, I've had her for a while now. And no, she wasn't my first horse. I have had horses my entire life, always been into horses, so no, she wasn't my first. I got into horses when I was, God, 3 years old. My mum was very into horses, my nan was very into horses, so it very much just kind of, the bug kept getting passed down. I was the only one that got it. My siblings, they not interested. But no, I very much was, since birth. Always just obsessed with horses, always loved them. So yeah, I got into horses when I was very young. I had a break from owning them and kind of riding just after uni. Obviously, you know, we know how it is. You finish uni, you've got no money, no time. So, you know, horse ownership definitely wasn't on the agenda. But I always knew in the back of my mind that I would 100% want to create a life whereby I could buy a horse and, yeah, carry on. Hopefully that's answered your questions about Flicker. I have just done my base. I've actually mixed it. I've used my Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk and the Laura Mercier Real Flawless Foundation, just to see how that looks. It's very, very dewy. I'm feeling rather dewy. I'm going to have to powder this down as we carry on. Oh, sorry, someone asked if I live close by to ride every day. Yes, so I keep her at a local yard. It's about 15 minutes away. So yeah, I obviously go there every day. And yes, I don't ride every day. It depends actually. When we are kind of in peak competing season, she'll be ridden sort of 5 to 6 times a week by me. Oh my gosh, sorry guys, I just had to go off camera to have a bit of a mad coughing fit. Oh, if it suddenly looks like I've been crying. I promise I haven't, Gosh, this foundation duo is very very dewy. But yeah, to answer your question, yes, I do live close enough to ride every day. The number of times I ride per week just depends on the time of year that it is, what we're doing. But yeah, I will still go and see her though. Even if I'm not, you know, obviously not riding. Obviously I'll still have to go. Just popping on a little bit of Laura Mercier concealer. And now I'm going to move on to do my contour. What are your typical Christmas Day plans? Ooh, okay, so, oh my god, sorry, I can't get comfortable in this chair. We host Christmas as of last year. We did it for the first time, so I'm just going to go off last year really, because I'm thinking it'll probably be the same again. So Christmas Eve, Andy's mum and dad will come up, so they're already at our house for Christmas Day. So wake up Christmas Day, we open our stockings in bed. Andy will go downstairs, get the doggies, bring them upstairs, and the doggies have a stocking, obviously, and we have a stocking. And we'll all open our stockings in bed. Then we'll go downstairs, we'll make the cups of teas, coffee, go into the living room, and then we'll do presents first thing in the morning. And then once that's done, we'll go into the kitchen and have breakfast. Usually Andy takes control of doing the breakfast. We'll usually do like smoked salmon, bacon, scrambled egg, toast, just little bits, and people just help themselves. Andy usually takes control of that, and I'll be doing the little bits towards the Christmas dinner that I need to get done in the morning. After that, we'll probably go on a nice dog walk, and we will have a little walk down to the pub, and we pop into the pub, have a glass of fizz there and say hello to everyone. So I think we'll probably take the doggies there as well. We'll then come back, I will make the Christmas dinner, we'll have Christmas dinner, and then after that it's whatever we fancy. Maybe play a couple of games or watch a film, have a little nap on the sofa. Yeah, it's very chilled, but I love it, and I do love it now that we can do it at our house as well. There's something really nice about waking up in your own home on Christmas morning and going to bed in your house on Christmas night. What cheers you up if you're having a bad day? Ooh, good question. I would say, for me, it's almost like, where's my blusher gone? Why can't I see it? I would almost describe it as grounding myself. I kind of just have to, and it depends why I'm having the bad day, but usually if I can, I would say very much like grounding myself. I take note of the things I care about. So if I'm having a bad day, I will try not to go online and look at Instagram, YouTube or whatever, and because that'll just give me anxiety. I don't want to see what other people are doing. I don't want to compare. I don't want to, I don't know, see someone's amazing content and I've not been in the headspace to do any content that day. So first of all, phone away. I can't sit and just doom scroll. I just can't. I like to put on a comfort film or a comfort series, something just really familiar, and because I am a bit of an introvert, I'm very much a homebody. I like to make the house cosy. I like to make myself clean and cosy, so if I'm having a bad day, always feel better after a shower and a cup of tea. Shower and a cup of tea is step one. Comfy, cosy clothes, something familiar on the TV where I can just almost relax and just feel safe. And as long as I have seen my horse and seen my doggies and me and Andy have maybe had some just quality time together, then I'm happy. That always makes me feel better on a bad day. But especially my doggies. We always joke that Desi is my emotional support dog. Honestly, that dog, she knows. She's so in tune with me. But yeah, as long as little Desi's around, then I'm already feeling much better. Oh, and obviously I've had lots of questions about the dogs. So, got loads of questions about the dogs. Dogs' names, ages. Oh, someone's asked if I have a favourite. That is just wrong. I'm judging you for asking me that question. And dog training tips. Quite a lot of you guys think my dogs are really well trained, which I'm really flattered about. Okay, so starting off with the doggies. People have asked what breed they are and all sorts. So they are Cocker Spaniels. They are show type Cockers, so they're not working Cocker Spaniels. Desi, the girl, she is the oldest. She's 5 years old. And then Bolly, the boy, he's the youngest and he's 2 years old. And no, I do not have a favourite. I love them both equally. They're both so different in personality. Desi is obviously the OG. We had her first, and I feel like we got Desi at a really good time when I was just feeling really low, and I needed Desi. I needed Desi a lot at the time. I didn't realise how much I needed Desi until I got her. So she's just here, lying in the doorway. And Desi has always been my shadow. She's always been my dog. I know me and Andy went to buy her and we both chose her. Well, we didn't even choose her actually. When we went to go and... we actually called up about her sister. Let's not tell Desi. But then when we got there, there was 2 left. So there was her sister and Desi. And we were put on this like sofa. And the 2 dogs were just, you know, sort of passed to us, and we were, just playing with them and whatever. And Desi just sort of came up to me. She sat herself next to me and just kind of looked up at me as if to say, yeah, like, I'm coming home with you. It's 100% true when they say that the dog picks you, because Desi picked us. Well, Desi picked me. There was no way I was leaving there without Desi on that day, so... yeah, Desi's the OG. She's been my shadow from day one. And the funniest part is, before we got Bolly, we always kind of joked and said that, seeing as Desi is my dog, let's get Bolly, because then he can be like Andy's dog. And then what did Bolly do? He copies everything that Desi does. So because Desi follows me everywhere, so does Bolly. But no, Desi is very much call her my Velcro dog. She's just with me all the time. Aren't you, darling? Desi? Aren't you? Come here. Come on then. Are you having a little snoozy? Oh. And then people have been asking for like dog training tips and things. How strange. I don't want to give anyone like false information, because I'm sure there'll be professional dog trainers on here that will correct me if I say something wrong. Let me just set this concealer with my Laura Mercier powder before it creases up on me. A tip I would give, this is more so for sort of if you just get a new dog, new puppy or whatever. My biggest tip is honestly just to set the rules from day one. Be very black and white. This is right, this is wrong, these are the rules. Don't then change those rules. And that is that. And that is honestly how we have treated our dogs with absolutely everything. So when we first had them, when it came to toilet training them, both of ours were super easy to toilet train. And I can probably count on one hand the amount of times they've ever had an accident in the house. And that's genuinely hand on heart. They just have never, and that's literally because from day one, and I give this advice to everyone and people don't believe me, but I'm dead serious. We have never ever used puppy pads, because I personally think that in my head I think of it like this: if you use a puppy pad in the house, what you're actually saying is, okay, yeah, it's okay to go to the toilet inside the house, and then one day you try and put that puppy pad outside, and all of a sudden, no, you can't go to the toilet in the house. You're changing the rules and you're moving the goalposts. From day one, they understand. They're puppies, but they're not dumb. So from day one, as soon as they've eaten or drank anything, I was putting them straight outside in the garden, really praising them when they did like a wee or a poo or something. And they soon caught on, and Desi especially. They say girl dogs are easier than boy dogs to toilet train. I would say that. But oh my god, Desi especially was so easy. But yeah, that's all I would say. You know, if you don't want your dogs to jump up people, then you've got to get used to them not jumping up you either. It can't be okay for them to jump up you, but then not someone else, you know, 'cause they don't understand that. The same as with walking off the lead. We very much, with Desi and Bolly, from their very first walk, when they were allowed to go for proper walks, their very first walk was off the lead, because I thought, well, this is going to be their life, you know, they're going to have the rest of their life going off the lead. I don't want to keep them on the lead and then suddenly one day say you're free and expect them to stay with me. So yeah, from day one they were going off the lead, and in my head I just thought, well, they're puppies. At this point they're kind of a bit scared and timid of the world. They don't want to run off when they're tiny puppies usually. And also if they do, I can kind of catch them. But no, we just had that trust, you know, we kept calling them back, giving them treats when they came back to us. And that was just it. That's the only advice I can give. Set the rules from day one, stick to them, and be very black and white. Look whose little ears must have been burning. Could you hear me talking about you? You've been having a little snooze, haven't you, in that doorway? Yeah, you look tired. Oh, big yawn. Oh, my little sausage, aren't you? My little darling. Aren't you? Darling, I'm going to pop you down while I finish this video, okay? You have a snooze. I'll put your blanket down here for you. Here, let me pop your blanket down. Good girl. Okay, moving on to eyes. I'm going to do a kind of matte, smoky brown eye, because then I think I'm going to do a red lip. So I'm going to crack on with that while I answer the next question. Oh, this one's a very short and sweet question. Lots of people, I think a lot of people assume this, but yeah, lots of people asking if me and Andy are married. No, we're not married, but a lot of people do just call him my husband, but no, we're not married. But it's one of those things, we might as well be, do you know what I mean? We've been together for almost 10 years now, so I'm not sure what getting married will change in that aspect, but no, in short, we aren't married. Someone has asked, any house/interior plans coming up for 2024? At the minute, nothing's sort of booked, as in solid in the diary. We obviously have things that we want to do in the house. I want to completely finish off downstairs, just do a few bits to the downstairs. There's still a couple of little things I want to do in the kind of kitchen, dining area, and I really want to do Andy's office as well next year. We're probably gonna get that done pretty soon. That'll probably be one of the first things we end up doing, along with our bedroom, because we haven't actually done anything in our bedroom. So I think we're probably going to paint and panel in the bedroom like we did in the living room. Get some wardrobes sorted for in there, and yeah, just kind of make that feel a little bit more finished, you know? Gosh, there's lots of questions regarding 2024. I'll answer those ones towards the end when I'm nearly finished. Okay, I've been debating whether or not to answer this one, but there's been a few about this, so I'm going to try to answer this one as best as I can. So lots of people saying, sort of, are you close to your family? How do you juggle sort of like seeing your family, Andy's family at Christmas? Lots sort of questions regarding my family. I think that's because obviously I don't really show that on my channel. As I said, I'm going to try and answer this as best as I can, because I also want to be very sort of respectful as well. I don't rate speaking about people online when they're, you know, not there to have their say as well. I don't rate that sort of behaviour. So what I will say is that I feel like in life, yes, you have your biological family, but also I feel like you can make your own family, and that's very much what I feel like I have done. But yeah, obviously I want to be careful with how I word things, but I think the best way to probably describe the situation is just to kind of bear in mind that not everybody has the most ideal upbringing. Not everybody comes from a loving home. And that's all I will say on that matter. So, no. But I very much believe that you make your own family in life, and you have to work with the cards that you are dealt. And, you know, some people get a great hand in life and some people don't. But yeah, I very much consider Andy, the dogs, Andy's family, they're very much my family in life. But yeah, I hope that answers your question on that. Okay, this is an interesting one. I can see you being involved in equestrian design somehow. Would you be interested in clothing design or horseware design? Not sure what it's called. Interesting. Let's just wait and see, shall we? Who knows? Oh, this is a good one. What are your goals for 2024? With Flickr, work, personal? Oh, I love that question. Oh, I feel like it can always be tricky, sort of verbalising on a video what your goals are, because then I feel like it makes them, you almost feel like you have to hold yourself accountable for it then. And there's evidence online for if you don't hit them. But yeah, I definitely have goals for 2024. What order did you put them in? You said Flickr, work, personal. Let's go in that order then. So with Flickr, yes, 100% have some goals for me and Flickr. I'd say competing wise, last year we qualified for the regional championships. I then couldn't compete in them because I got COVID. So my goal next year is to qualify for the regional championships again, and actually compete in the regional championships this time. And I mean, I should stop there really. Whatever, let's just dream big, shall we? If I'm really going for it, I'd love to say that we could compete in a regional championship, possibly place or do well enough in the regional championship to qualify for a national championship. That would be quite nice. I mean, let's just put it out there as a goal. If we don't hit it, meh, at least we tried, eh? But yeah, that's what I'm going to say for Flickr. For work, well, 2024 will be a strange one, because I'll be entering 2024 not being with an agency anymore, off my own back. So yeah, it will be interesting to actually sit and kind of set my own goals for the year. With work, I'd like to say that one of my main goals is to 100% be as consistent on YouTube as I feel like I have been this year. That was a big goal for me this year. I want to continue that into 2024. I don't want to add a kind of number of followers that I want to be on. I just want to control the controllable, and if I can just be consistent, hopefully subscribers will follow. But yeah, I want to carry on being consistent with my vlogging, creating my videos, and then also I would like to take on a member of staff, which feels very, very grown up and very, very scary to say out loud. But yeah, at the time, it's definitely time. I need someone to help me and just manage things, take care of the admin side of things for me, and because I am not good at that stuff. I'm not good at chasing invoices and doing all of that and negotiating, and yeah, it's like I like being involved, but it would be nice that the sole pressure of that wasn't on me and I could just concentrate on making content. But yeah, I feel like I will 100% take on someone and start working with someone in 2024, which would be pretty exciting. And then personal goals, honestly, it's all about my fitness in 2024. If I want to achieve the goals that I want to achieve with Flickr, then my fitness has got to improve. I will admit, my fitness wasn't where it needed to be this year. It was at one point. I got myself into a really great routine, and I was feeling really good. I feel like since the kind of COVID stint in September, that's when was it September, October? September, my fitness just went downhill because I couldn't exercise, I couldn't go for a run. So yeah, a big one for me is going to be getting my own fitness back up, peak fitness, so that I'm able to reach my other goals. So that's going to be a big one for me. That will include going for runs, the Peloton, just my cardiovascular fitness 100% needs to get better. Okay, I'm going to pop on a little bit of the Refi highlighter onto my cheekbones, my nose, just on my head here. Ooh, I've got some brush hairs stuck to my head. There we go. There we go. And then to finish off, I am going to pop my lipstick on. So, I'm a little bit shiny there. Let's powder that down. Use a little bit of Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder, just to control the shine there. There we go. Lip liner, MAC in the shade Brick. And then my Tom Ford lipstick in the shade Scarlet Rouge. Okay, right, let me just go and sort my hair out and then I'll be right back. Okay, right, I think that is going to conclude this Q&A. I feel like I've answered a good range of questions there. Makeup is done. I am loving this red lip. I'm really loving the red lip again recently. Honestly, it's been a while since I've enjoyed wearing a red lip, but I feel like I've found the shade now that I really like. But anyway guys, I'm going to leave this video here now that I'm all ready to go. So I really hope you enjoyed this video guys. This is just a little bit of a different Vlogmas video today because, like I said, today was the only day that I couldn't really just vlog my daily life because there was just not that much going on, to be honest. But hopefully you enjoyed this little Q&A and going through my makeup with me. So with that guys, I'm going to end this vlog here, and yeah, I'll see you again tomorrow at the same time. Bye guys.